Well, hello everyone. I trust you're all keeping well. Hope you're not climbing the walls too much with boredom, as we're forced to lock down because of this old virus. I trust that you're all enjoying the Bible challenge. I know certainly I am. And hopefully you're learning maybe some new things that you never thought about before. That has been the case with me. Today, as you can see, it's my turn to share a few of my thoughts on what we've been doing, and I want to just share a few thoughts from Matthew 12. Right at the very start, we read that it was the Sabbath, and Jesus and his disciples were walking through the grain fields. Disciples were hungry, and they plucked a few of the ears of corn and were eating them. And of course the Pharisees got to hear of this. They were watching this. They watched Jesus all the time, of course, because they were always looking for ways to trap him and trick him and accuse him. So they go to Jesus anyhow and they say, look, your disciples are doing what is unlawful on the Sabbath. Now that, strictly speaking, wasn't true, but that's for another day. But look how Jesus answered them. Have you not read what David did when his companions were hungry? They ate, of course, the consecrated bread, if you read down the verses. But that's what struck me. Jesus answered him, have you not read? And very often when Jesus was questioned, he would answer his accusers by quoting from the scriptures. He would respond with words like, haven't you read? Or have you not read? Or do you not know? Or it is written. And if you think back, just we've read a few chapters ago about the temptation, Satan tempting Jesus, and he says, it is written, man does not live by bread alone. It is written, do not put the Lord your God to the test. It is written, worship the Lord your God and serve him only. Jesus had great command of the scriptures, notwithstanding the fact he was God, of course, but he knew the scriptures inside out. So whether it was Satan or whether it was the Pharisees, he was able to quote the scriptures and disarm his accusers by being able to do that. And I thought, well, maybe there's a lesson there for us. I put my hand on my heart, and to my shame I say, perhaps I don't know enough scriptures. And I think of what happens when, say, the Mormons or the Jehovah's come to the door. I think the typical response of most Christians is, oh, we have our own religion and we close the door on them. But would Jesus do that? I think what Jesus would do, he would point out, he would know the scriptures, he would be quoting scripture at them from our Bible, not from their Bible, which is corrupted in many ways. And that's a thought that occurred to me. Perhaps we need to, I speak personally, of course, need to be really steeped in the scriptures so that whenever the temptations and the attacks and the accusations come, we can fall back in the scriptures and just quote them because we know they're trustworthy and they're true. Another thing that occurred to me is this. There's at times some Christians would have certain reservations about the Old Testament. A lot of Christians would tend to be New Testament Christians, and they don't pay as much heed or don't give as much weight to the Old Testament. Now, I think the fact that Jesus himself quoted so often from the Old Testament, he quoted from the law often, he would quote from at least 8 of the prophets that we read of in the Bible. Jesus quotes from them. And I think that if you have any doubts or wee niggles about what's written in the Old Testament, and we'll read later on about Jonah, Jesus refers to Jonah. He doesn't see it as a story, it's fact. Jonah was in the belly of the fish for 3 days. So to me that validates the Old Testament. There should be no question. Even Timothy, Paul writing to Timothy, he says all scripture is God breathed. All of scripture. is God breathed, and we should be given the same weight of the Old Testament as the New Testament. It's thoroughly reliable and trustworthy, and I think Jesus validates that. We need no other validation. Anyhow, moving on, we read on down the chapter, and we see again that the Pharisees try and trap Jesus by asking, is it lawful to do, to heal on the Sabbath? And Jesus, of course, says to him, it's lawful to do good on the Sabbath. And he heals the man with the withered hand. He heals him. And that shows me that Jesus, of course, has the power and authority over sickness. He has the power to heal the sick, to make the blind see, to make the lame walk. He can cleanse the lepers. He can raise the paralytic. He can restore them. Jesus has the power to do that. That's the power and authority Jesus has. He has the power over nature. He can calm the storm, of course. He has the power to cast out demons. And interestingly enough, we do read that in